Hi, I'm Geoffrey Hemmen. I grew up in Royal Oak, Michigan, just outside Detroit. My folks moved at a young age. We moved down to Orlando when I was only 6 years old, so I didn't get a whole lot, but I had a ton of family back there. My mom was one of 7, my dad was one of 3, so from my grandparents down, there's about 109 of us. My first car was a 1983 Buick Regal Limited, metallic green, that had electric windows that worked less than half the time. So we'd drive to school with the windows down thinking you're all cool, and then you park your car and you can't put the windows up. And then it would rain like any Florida afternoon, it'd rain and you come inside, there'd be a couple inches of water inside the car, but that was it, man. I was kind of the guy that was friends with everybody. I had a lot of friends that played football, a lot of friends that were nerds, which I'm kind of one too. I actually graduated 8th out of my class of 520. But I was friends with everybody, and it helped when I, tried to hold some political offices in high school and did some things like that. But I was just basically everybody's friend at the time. So I actually played volleyball in high school. I was on my high school's volleyball team, and I was actually on the bowling team as well, which is interesting because I went to Florida State. But a lot of people don't know this, but I actually went on a partial bowling scholarship, which was interesting. I did enjoy going to Florida State. I was there in the early 90s, which was the heyday for Florida State in football, and won a couple national championships. Actually met Charlie Ward. Actually had dinner with him one time, super nice guy. My degree is actually in physics with a minor in biology and 3-dimensional sculpting. I make prosthetic limbs. I just started my own company, Advanced Prosthetics and Orthotics, a little over a year ago. And I originally got involved because one of my mother's friends was in a motorcycle accident when I was younger. And so I always had an interest there. And then the summer after my freshman year at Florida State, I went back home to Orlando, and like any good college student, I spent most of my time on the couch watching TV and caught a 4-hour documentary on the history of prosthetics. And then after that, I decided that was kind of what I wanted to pursue, and went back to, when I got back to Tallahassee, I looked up a local guy, and he kind of took me under his wing, and the rest is history. I started working for him and then went away to Northwestern University to study prosthetics. I have 3 kids. One is actually up in Stamford, Connecticut, possibly going to Yale in the spring for PA school. My middle child, Chris, he is actually at the University of North Florida, studying to become a mechanical engineer. And then my youngest is actually University of Tampa right now, pre-med, so he's hoping to go to medical school at some point. It's awesome, but then when you get the bill at the end of the day, you're like, what in the world did I do? Well, we are big baseball fans. So as a family, we've been to about 25 different Major League Baseball parks, and so our plan is eventually to get to all of them. We got a little bit more time to do that, but that's one of our favorite pastimes, just watching baseball, whether it's at home on the couch or actually going and doing some trips to some Major League parks. When I first came to town, the gentleman that did my build out was Harold Goodemote. And I met him, and he told me about Rotary and said it was a good idea to get involved in the community. I don't know that I would expect to get anything out of it. I think just being involved and meeting new folks, and I think that the connections will happen if you're just an honest person and you do the right thing and for the right reasons. I think things just happen. I've always been kind of a person that would help with charity and help with anybody that I could to try to help them out whatever they needed. So this was just a perfect fit for me to get involved in the community. My name is Geoffrey Hemmen, and I am a proud Daytona Beach Rotarian.